DIYers, what's going on? Mike Borders with the Mike Borders channel. Thank you for watching. Hey, we're talking master brake cylinders, and in today's video, we're going to show you how to properly and safely bleed a master brake cylinder on the bench, basically using a vise. Let's get started. All right, DIYers, here we are at the workstation. On the other side of the jet ski, you can see the workbench, and in-house for the winter for a bunch of DIY repair videos for all of you, the DIY community, is my mom and dad's 2003 Sea-Doo GTX. And again, on the other side of the jet ski is the workbench. You see the vise, you see the master cylinder, and additional items. Let's take a closer look. Making our way around the jet ski and DIYers to the workbench. We are always busy here. And again, boats, jet skis, and more. And here is our swivel vise. We will be using that. Down below in the comments and description will be a link on where to purchase that swivel vise, as well as a link on how to install it on a workbench. And all the parts and fluid that we will be using in this video, we will have links to in the description and again comments. And there's the brand new master brake cylinder. Taking a step back and down below, just to alleviate brake fluid getting on the carpet, I've got a few pieces of cardboard as well as paper towel. And from here we are going to ever so carefully secure the master brake cylinder into the vise. And I did just that. As you can see, the master brake cylinder is properly secured into the vise, and extremely important, do not damage that rubber O-ring or seal. And you will notice how I have the master cylinder positioned into the vise. I've got paper towel because on the inner side of the jaws are jagged edges, and I do not want to imprint or engrave that part of the master cylinder. So again, I've added paper towel. And you want to tight, but do not over tighten it to, again, a point where you are harming or damaging the master cylinder itself. And again, here it is. And some parts. Again, down below in the comments and description will be links to all of these, and you will see each of these in motion except for the upper wrench there. However, this is a brake line specific wrench. As you can see on the bottom is just a standard Craftsman 10mm wrench. And above it is again a brake specific wrench, and you can see the cut of the wrench or inner portion of that wrench is just a little different than the straight edges and bottom rounded base as shown here. I just wanted to show you that, and that pin will come in handy or play when we are compressing the piston and pushing the brake fluid. To the opposite side, DIYers, this may or may not be helpful to you. However, I did want to show you a view of this side of the master brake cylinder and how it is secured in the vise. What we'll do now is position the camera and begin bench bleeding the entire master brake cylinder. At this point, I've got the camera positioned, and DIYers, very important, you need to verify whether or not you have .3 brake fluid or .4 brake fluid. And .3 and .4 are most standard for automotive vehicles. And the easiest way to do that, obviously reference your owner's manual, but go to your currently installed master cylinder and reservoir, and the cap on top, you can carefully reference that. You don't have to actually remove it. However, look right here, .3, and this is the exact replacement OEM part for our car. And when we go out and reference the old cap to the old reservoir and cylinder, it's the same thing, .3. So I'll set that aside. In addition, I recommend a brand new, fresh, sealed, unopened container of brake fluid, not brake fluid container that's been sitting in your garage for the last 10 years. DIYers, don't do that. I'll shift this aside. And from here, I'm going to carefully remove the yellow plugs, and yours may be a different color, yours may be plastic, but again, in our case, ours are yellow and little rubber seals as shown here. I'll set those aside. Now with the plugs removed, looking inside that port, you can see a smaller hole and tapped thread, and that tapped thread is what your currently installed brake line fittings will secure into and create that tight seal. In addition, with the cap off, inside here is a filter. I'll show you that right now. Now to a top view and close up, again coming inside, just a screen or filter inside there. And on the opposite side is an electrical connection point where the electrical sensor is installed, and that reads the brake fluid quantity. And a closer view inside the ports, as you see there. And we are now going to use those black fittings and lines or hoses. Taking a step back, camera reposition, and what I did next was grab the 2 hoses or lines and this little adapter, and that helps keep the lines separated. And on either side, you've got these little fittings right here, and they're like needle nose fittings with a needle nose tip, and each of the tip fittings will go inside the smaller inner holes of the master cylinder ports, and the opposite end will go up inside the reservoir. And I'm going to do that right now, and I'm going to put both the lines in, and I will feed this line out here and carefully push it into the center hole as well as right here. And these do not thread in our case. Yours might be different. However, in our case, you just carefully press them in with some friendly pressure. Next, what I'll do is open up the brake fluid. And from here, I'm going to pour the brake fluid in the top opening of the reservoir all the way to the max line. And again, just a double check that each of these little needle nose fittings are pressed into the ports. And I'm going to apply some paper towel down below. And again, go slow, be patient. There is absolutely no reason to rush this. And again, all the way to the max line. As you can see, it's still pretty low. Verify each of the needle nose ports are pressed in. And as you can see, it is now at the max line. I'm going to set the brake fluid aside. And from here, I just have a folded piece of paper towel, and that's going to be in the palm of my hand for extra padding in between the end of this tool or pin and my palm. And from here, I'm going to hold each of these fittings just to verify that they don't pop out when I press the inner piston in. And again, the pin is going to go inside the piston hole, and I'm going to push the piston in carefully. And as I do that, you will see fluid begin to flow through the lines. And I chose this pin, and I recommend this pin as opposed to other tools for two reasons. Number one, you're not going to damage the piston by using this tool. And number two, it's not going to get stuck inside the piston hole as you use it. That's not what you want. In addition, it's not going to break any of your tools, so that's important. And again, push that in and begin pushing very slowly. As you can see, the brake fluid went down. And I'm only pushing the piston in about an inch. There's no reason to go any further in. Just get that fluid moving. And I'm going to add some more brake fluid. And again, go slow. No need to rush this. And you can see the air bubbles beginning to climb, verifying that the fittings are inside the hole. And up top, that the lines are submerged in the fluid. And again, just begin carefully compressing or pushing the piston in and moving that fluid. A lot of air. And you're going to do this for about 5 minutes. And that's okay. Just be patient. Do not rush this. And it's getting down to the bottom. Again, as you do this, you do not want the hoses to come out of the brake fluid inside the reservoir. Top it off again and compress the piston. And the hoses are a lot more filled with fluid, as you can see, as it was just about a minute ago. A lot of air bubbles still, but again, just be patient, go slow, get all that air out of the system. and continue this process until all the air is out. And it's important to have these fittings pushed in pretty firmly, because if they're offset or not pushed in all the way, additional air could be getting inside at the fitting points and you'll never get that air out. And DIYers, I am making progress, just small air bubbles from here you can see. And again, the importance of having each of these fittings firmly pressed into those inner ports will alleviate any additional air getting inside at these locations. Very important. And you can see it is below the max. I'm going to add more fluid. And continue the process. Very, very small air bubbles from here. The entire distance of pushing the piston in and out. And DIYers, that is your goal. And I'll add some more fluid. And compress the piston 2 to 3 more times. And that's exactly where I want it. I will set the tool aside, and from here I'm going to grab each of these white plugs, and they are threaded. They are plastic. What I'm going to do, one at a time, I'm going to remove each of the needle nose plugs and fittings, and at the same time, doing my absolute best to alleviate any fluid from leaking out, I'm going to screw in a plug without cross-threading it and create that brake fluid seal to allow me to remove both of the hoses again out of the lower ports and the upper portion of the reservoir. And I will start with the top one, and I'll do my best not to get in your way. And I'll come in, pop it open, followed by inserting the plug. And do not cross thread this again. And brake fluid is leaking out of that hose, but DIYers, that is normal. And I'll do the exact same thing for the second one. And I'll set the hose and line down. And it's a little slippery, so I'm going to grab some paper towel, get a better grip. And these plastic plugs happen to be 9/16 in size. I'm going to tighten them in place. And again, they're plastic, do not over tighten them. And all we're doing is creating a seal to alleviate brake fluid leaking out as we finish up this project and go remove the old master cylinder from the car and install this one. And I will clean up the brake fluid that leaked. And yes, it's going to leak, that's normal. Your goal is to alleviate it from leaking and allowing a ton of air back into the system. You do not want that. Now to a close-up view of the master brake cylinder and reservoir properly bled and the plugs installed. Again, do not over tighten those are plastic. As well as when you install those or thread them in and tighten them, take into consideration those small inner circular ports. You do not want to damage those as well. And from here, I'm just going to carefully resecure the cap. And some friendly force all the way around until it is secured, as shown there. DIYers, now to a different camera angle. We are looking at the back cylinder portion and piston. And again, the 2 plugs we just installed. And the last check we need to do for peace of mind to verify that the entire master brake cylinder has been properly bled and no additional bleeding or steps are required. I'm going back to the pin and that paper towel in my palm. And again, the ports have been plugged. The cap is on. The reservoir is to the max fill line. And I'm going to come inside here and give it some friendly inward pressure. And I want to verify that there is not as much play as there was when we were bleeding the system and pushing in on the piston, and that is extremely hard to push in. Very hard. And as you push this in, verify no fluid is leaking from either of the ports that the plastic plugs are installed in. And if you have an extremely firm piston, you have properly and correctly bled your entire master brake cylinder. Again, the inner piston itself does not have the easy, friendly compressibility as it did when we had this cap open and the ports plugged with the needle nose fittings and pushing fluid through the lines to, again, properly bleed the master brake cylinder. In addition to a close-up view of the inner cylinder portion and where we inserted that pin to compress that piston. And take a look, you see a cotter pin that locks the piston in from actually allowing it to spring load out of the actual bore and housing of the master brake cylinder. So that is very important, and I bring that up because in the event that you do not use a pin like this and you start using random tools like sockets or screwdrivers, you are going to possibly damage this, and over time, maybe a few months after you install the brand new cylinder in your car, well, that inner lock clip may give way and allow that piston to come out, and that's not what you want. Again, this pin is perfect. It fits right inside here, and it's not going to damage it, and it is not going to get stuck. Again, that's the way to go. And one last view of the plugs. Again, no need to screw them in all the way, just enough where they create a seal and not allow any of the brake fluid to leak out. And just monitor it over the next couple minutes and hours as it sits here and patiently waits for the old master cylinder to be removed so we can install this. Taking a step back in DIYers, that is it. And scrolling above right now, as well as down below in the comments and description, will be a link that takes you directly to our video showing the step-by-step process on how to properly and safely remove the old master cylinder and install this brand new one in the car. Check that out, you may find it helpful. And before we wrap this video up, a couple additional items to talk about or double check and verify. Again, we have properly and fully bled the entire master brake cylinder and topped it off. As you can see, the fluid is at the max level. We have installed the cap properly. It's just a rubber cap. Make sure it is on properly where it creates that brake fluid seal. And we've got both of our plugs screwed in, which plug those ports and not allow any of the brake fluid to leak out and allow air into the system. If that happened, well, we would have to start the entire project all over again, which wouldn't be the end of the world. As you just saw, it's a pretty friendly DIY project, but at this stage, it's always more fun getting it right the first time as opposed to not getting it right the first time and having to do it a second time or third time. That would not be fun. And again, DIYers, in the event that you want help on how to remove the old and install this brand new cylinder in your car, definitely check out that link that was scrolling above or again down below in the comments and description. From here, we will wrap the video up. Hey, do us a favor, below the video, you will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. And one more thing, if you're still watching, down below in the comments and description will be several additional video links talking about troubleshooting on why your brakes are not bleeding properly, as well as some ABS system videos and how to properly reset your ABS system.